This is a book review of The Smart Money Method by Stephen Clapham. Would like to say from the outset that nothing in this video is or is to be considered financial advice. This is merely a review of the book. Stephen Clapham has worked in the city as a stock analyst for over 20 years and has a specialism in accounting. He can really help the reader to analyse a stock and to drill down into the numbers, to closely inspect the balance sheets and the financials to ascertain whether or not a company looks good going forwards. He offers a step-by-step methodology in the book looking at how companies can first be identified. He suggests the reader use screens or looks for companies with particular attributes. He has suggested perhaps sticking to one particular industry or a particular theme, a particular area of interest that the investor might have some knowledge of already, and sticking to what they already know. Once a list of potential companies have been identified, he then offers the reader a checklist. Similar to how a pilot and co-pilot check a number of different things before taking off, he recommends looking at a few specific things to gauge whether or not the company is worth analysing in great depth. Some of those checks include looking at the debt level, looking at the management, looking at who owns the stock, as well as others. He will then look at the context. He will look at the larger trends going on in the industry. Is the industry as a whole faring well? Is it growing? Is it diminishing? How is it likely to be affected by technological change? Is it one that could have significant disruption caused by the development of a particular technology, for example? After looking at the broader context, he will then take out the microscope and really look inwardly and look at the details. One of the great advantages of reading this book is that it can enable the reader to learn more about how to read the accounts and how to calculate things like profit margins, profitability, and how capital is being used by the company to increase sales and consider the future prospects of a particular company. He really covers a lot of ground in the book. It's highly rigorous, it's a comprehensive book. It's probably better suited to intermediates rather than basic level beginners. But he walks you through all the potential pitfalls to look out for, to help you identify red flags and companies that have perhaps hidden dangers that are not immediately or obviously there on the surface, but taking out the microscope should help the reader to identify those particular errors. One of the things I really love is his emphasis on always seeking contrarian opinions. To avoid confirmation bias, it's important to really consider why a company might not be a good investment. So rather than just looking at opinions and viewpoints for why a company might do well, he really recommends using Charlie Munger's inversion tactic and ask the question, why might this company fail? What reasons might there be for this company to not last, 10 years, or for it to underperform in the medium to long term? He considers all of these things really carefully and closely in the book, and really looks at miscellaneous items as well that perhaps the reader doesn't get in other investment books. He looks at other factors which might influence the share price, so looking at macro trends in the economy. How is the broader economy doing? Are people having more money to spend at the end of the month on desirables rather than, you know, the essentials that we all need at the supermarket. How might that affect the sales of particular companies where perhaps their products, their goods are more luxury items rather than basic fundamentals that they need at the end of the month. He looks at political factors and all kinds of considerations that the investor can use and think about and consider to make better informed, more critical decisions about whether or not a particular company looks like a potential successful investment. So do check out the book. It's by Stephen Clapham. He's also given a number of interviews online in which he talks about the contents of this book, but a very good read. Do go check it out.